If there's one very, very simple thing, but yet very powerful and effective thing that all writing teachers can do, is to implement 5-minute free writes as much as possible before or at the end of writing lessons. Here's why. First of all, shout out to Tregs, one of the all-time great teachers and great friends. Thank you for introducing this to me because I've been using it ever since, and it really truly works. All right, a 5-minute free write is very simple. All you do is put a prompt on the board and give the students 5 minutes to write. You encourage them to write as much as possible in whatever way they want. And if students are really struggling to come up with an idea, really encourage them to just write words down, get anything down. And I find this to be so powerful for many reasons. First of all, I've never seen one method of writing that gets kids to like writing as much as this. Usually when you give students a prompt, it's often framed in some frame of what the school wants, and students just don't like to do it very much. But this is something that they actually like to do. They like to share their opinions, their thoughts, their creativity, and get it out on paper, and they feel like they're growing in confidence. Another thing is that, most students, I think I mentioned this in a previous video, but most students don't write very much. And so this is a way to get students to write consistently, 5 minutes at a time. When was the last time you or any student just sat down to write for 5 minutes? Now, some of you may, but most people don't. And so this is why it works. Students and they build just like any exercise you do. If you work out, you get stronger. Just like this, if you write, you get stronger at writing. And it just builds the proper skills. And then you can use those 5-minute free writes, if they're writing them in their journal, to use them for stories later, use them for inspiration for essays later. If you look at them as a teacher, you can talk about grammar and things they did well and not right, or not as well. And it's a simple thing. You do it in an approachable way. There's a few free write prompts that Tregs, I mentioned, has used and that I use that I find to be the most interesting. So just for a fun series coming up, I was going to share some of my all-time favorite prompts that you can use, or if you just like to write at home, you can do that too. I always participate, last thing, I always participate in 5-minute free write with my students. You must. You're the teacher. You've got to do it. And but I find it to be really fun actually too. So the more I write them, the more I feel confident in what I'm doing too, just like them. So just something I had to share, but I hope I can share some fun prompts with you guys in the future videos, and I hope you guys actually comment on them because I'm curious about some of these. They're great. Thanks.